Okay, and welcome to the third and final installment in the series about VSTs. In the previous two videos we looked at synthesizers and real instruments, or rather VSTs that reproduce the sounds of those. So now we're going to take a look at a few VST effects. And to start off with, let's take a look at a few guitar effects. So to start off with, AXP Soft Amp GT. So this simulates 3 different types of amps, 3 different microphone positions, along with how much drive, EQ and other things. So we can take a very plain sounding guitar riff, like this one, and turn it into something much more interesting. Now let's do some power chords. So that was a pretty simple one. Here's something a little bit more complicated. BougX or BougX, I don't know how you pronounce it. So it simulates many different types of cabinets along with 3 different microphone placements, several different amp types, and you've also got equalization and reverb. Shred 1.06 simulates several different types of amp head, and you can even customize and make your own, many different types of cabinet, and you can even place the microphone and even the cabinet wherever you want. And of course it's got a lot of nice built-in effects too. And finally in the list of guitar effects, the Tubescreamer. And it's exactly what it says, it's an emulation of a Tubescreamer pedal. Now normally you would have this linked to some kind of cabinet simulator, but I'm just showing the sound coming directly off it so you can hear exactly how it sounds. So moving away from guitar effects, ambience. So here we have a nice spacey reverb, and although it says demo version and has a nag screen, just like empty power drum kit, there's absolutely no limitations to this. You can tweak what you want, load up whatever presets you want, and it's a really good sounding reverb. Next up we have Kales. And what this does is it tunes your keyboard to a different scale. So if I take this little melody here that was just made up with the white notes, apply a different scale to it, you can hear that it now sounds completely different. Hate that robotic quantized sound that you get with sequenced music? Well, Humanizator can fix that because it takes in MIDI data, adds a little bit of randomness to it, then spits it out into whatever VST you want. And now you've got much more natural sounding, de-quantized music. Currently I can only get it to work with VSTs. It's supposed to work with samples as well, but I haven't managed to get that to work. Works great with other VSTs though. Voice changes. I've got this one here called Rovi, which has independent pitch and formant controls. So basically what that means is you can change the pitch of your voice
without sounding like a chipmunk
or a monster.
So with the pitch control, I can sound like I'm getting higher and higher and higher. Or we could go the other way and make myself sound like I'm getting lower and lower and lower. And with the formant control, I can sound like I'm getting
smaller and smaller and smaller.
And of course I could also use it to make
Myself sound like I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
and overdriving the microphone apparently.
Too much enthusiasm. As a matter of fact, this very effect was used to make TD's voice in the Star Kids. Bet you didn't know that one. And of course you could use any combination
Of effects to do all kinds of weird and wacky voices. Although my normal speaking voice sounds like it's going through this already. The only thing that isn't very good is the robot effect. It sounds kind of glitchy. That's probably good for a robot voice anyway.
And while we're still on the subject of voice changes, here is an auto-tune effect. I'm trying to make my voice go as up and down as possible so you can hear the effect of this. Although my natural speaking voice is all over the place anyway, so I probably don't even need to do that, although that's more volume and not pitch. But anyway, if you need a free auto-tune, well, here it is. And it's just as good as any of the paid stuff. And you can also auto-tune your voice to any scale you like. Like I said, my voice is all over the place, so maybe I'll just tune it to just one note and leave it at that. Okay, now here's a plugin that I use almost religiously after I found it. Tal Chorus LX. And this can really fatten up things. Anything from synthesizers to guitars or whatever you want. And what it does is it emulates the chorus effect that you find on the Roland Juno keyboards. So I can take this rather bland and uninteresting sounding sawtooth riff here, add the chorus to it, and it's a complete transformation. And finally I want to talk about the classic effects. Now there's too many to talk about in this video, but the one I really like is the classic delay. So it can emulate tape delay, analog delay and digital delay. I like the tape delay best because I like tape. And the one thing I really like about this is the ping pong delay because it bounces from speaker to speaker. Well, just have a listen for yourself. Well, that's it for all the VSTs and everything, and my train of thought is kind of going now because I really want to get on and edit this video and get this nightmare over with making this video, so until next time, goodbye.